Hi, Masterwork historical shoes here. So yeah, today a little video in English because I can reach more people. The last days I've made a post about the new video from Todd's workshop, so from Todd, and he was talking about how bad or how crappy the historical stuff was, especially the knives and scabbards and stuff like that. And that's totally my theme. So I can just agree and can say yes, the historical stuff was from a modern perspective bad. I mean, we have so many so crude, so badly made stuff. I mean, if we look at stuff like that, it's for my Wachstäfelchen. So it's a little scabbard for my wax board, and I just, it's roughly made. Even also the stitches are, you can make better stitches. I can make better stitches, but I wanted to make it rough because it's for me. I like when my stuff is a little bit rougher, that's not so good, or stuff like that. It's a scabbard for a scissor. We have sources from the 15th and 16th century. It's normally not something you hang on your belt. It's more like you hang it somewhere inside your house, and if you need it, you can just take your scissors outside. And it's not perfectly done. It's just 2 holes, put it through, take the leather, cup it, put it inside, and cut it 2 times, so you have something like that. Or it's not made with linear. It's just roughly and fast made, because I can. And so today I've wanted to talk about shoes. Here I have some shoes that get new soles. So the upper is an old one. It needed a little bit of repairing, so I put some new leather, really rough, on the inside or on the outside from the tip. The shoe is at the moment turned, so I will sew it now or later, and then turn it again. So the shoe has new soles. We do not really have so much evidence for stuff like that. It's more often that you do not really reuse the upper. More often you just put part sole. So if you have a hole on the toes, you just put a part sole over it. It's the same when you have somewhere a cut, you just put a big piece of it and patch it. But what we have often, I mean, I have now a really big, beautiful piece of sole leather, but if you look at the originals, here we have some pictures from Olaf Gubitz, Stepping Through Time. Really great book. I think everyone who works with leather knows his name. And you can see here that even the soles have patches inside, or just an edge, or even the half of the sole. Maybe it was replaced, we do not know it, but it could also be that they do not have enough material, so they just sewed 2 pieces together, because the shoes they were waterproof-ish, but it's not like today's shoes where we think, yeah, they need to be waterproof for 5 hours and we want to walk over the mountains without wet feet. We do not really have that, or I think we do not really have that, because even if we use shoes and glue them and fatten them with pitch and tar, they are not movable anymore, and even then the water will get through. You can make the sole a little bit waterproof if you put a lot of linseed oil on it, and over weeks, every day, you put new linseed oil on it. The soles will get harder and waterproofish, but they are not really waterproof. After 2 days in the moist, they will get moisty. So the best tip for me is every evening put something like straw or cat litter inside the shoes. The cat litter will take all the moist. Then you can just, on the next day, you just put the cat litter in a jar and put it under the bed or something like that. So even on wet days, you have dry shoes in the morning. It's a really good tip. I do it all the time. Cat litter or newspaper or stuff like that. Just put it inside. It will take out the moist and you have dry shoes again. And it's nothing better than dry or even warm shoes in the next morning. Yeah, so patching, or not really patching, it's more like piecing. So as you can see here or there, you see that the uppers also often had weird angle pieces patched or put together to form the upper. The best thing, or the coolest thing I ever have seen were from Danzig. You can see that the shoes have been made out of, I think, 3 or 4 different old shoes. So you have goat leather, you have deer leather, you have bovine leather. So you have all kind of different sorts of leather and different ages of leather. So they just put together out of 3 or 4 shoes a pair of new shoes. So they just patched everything together. That was really, really cool. So yeah, I have the problem that if you want really historical shoes, I should patch it together. But if the right shoe and the left shoe do not really look completely the same, because the left one is made out of 3 pieces and the right one is made out of 2 or 5 pieces, my modern customers are like, we do not want it, because we want to look that both shoes should look the same. Everything should look the same. It should be a thick leather. The soles should have really thick leather. It should be durable about 10 years at least. But if you look at the historical leathers, they are most often thinner. The soles are most often thinner than the modern stuff I use today. I also can get the thinner and more historical correct stuff, but yeah, if I make you shoes that only last for 1 year, you will complain quite a lot. So I've used a thicker leather than most historical shoes have been made, or at least we know originals like this one behind me. They are original leather pieces, and even if you say, yeah, they are dehydrated and they are for 500 years in the ground, so they are thinner. But even if you say they are 10% thicker, they are still thinner than most of the leather I use normally. Because, yeah, like Todd told or said in his video, even for scabbards, the leather would be less than 2 millimeters, maybe 1 millimeter, maybe 0.8 millimeters. So it's really thin stuff that gets destroyed quite fast. I mean, here it's also a scabbard I made for myself. It's my eating knife and my work knife for the 17th century, and the leather is not, it's 1.5 millimeters, so it's quite flexible. It's not really thick and durable, and you already see some cuts inside. Okay, you do not see it, I see it, because I have a really sharp knife. And if you put it inside and outside, it will cut over time the material open. Also, the stitches are quite roughly made. Yeah, it's it's not really pretty. I just thought, okay, I want to make it something like the originals. So I looked at the originals and I seen stuff like that. So I thought, yeah, I want stuff like that. Also, it does not have holes for a lace or something like that. It's just to protect the blade and to protect me, because I can now carry it around, put it in my pocket or in my vest, and do not need to be worried about cutting myself. So it's just a protection for the knife, and if I need it, I just put it outside of my box or my jacket and can use it, and then I put it away again. So nothing will happen. The blade will stay sharp. It's the same with some of my that's for my late 15th century knife. It's just an easy work and eating knife, so it's nothing special, but I love it because it is so simple. It's more of a working knife, but you can also use it for eating. And it's the same with the scabbard. It is decorated, but not good. The same with here, a knife for the 13th century. You have stamps, you have decorations, and yeah, that's it. It is not really pretty. I like it because it took a lot of research to get that kind of bed to make it. And yeah, if you want it as historical as possible, you can call me, or better, send an email on service@marswerkhistoricalshoes.com. And I will make you what you want. At the moment I have a lot of work to do, so maybe the answer will take 1 or 2 days or maybe a week, but I will not forget you if you send me a message. Even if you have some repairs, I do them. It's around 100 or 120 euros to get a new sole inside your shoes. But ask me stuff like that in the winter, late summer, winter time, when you do not have any events and you have 2 or 3 months till the next event. Because if you came just 2 weeks before the event and say, I need some repairs, I will say, sorry, cannot do that, because only 2 weeks and I have a lot of work. So calculate some time and I will repair it. They have totally fine new soles. It will have a new frame. The little bit red one here will have a new frame. If I see any holes, I will patch them. If I see that the seam is ripped, I replace the seam. If you lose some laces, I will replace the laces. So they will be turned, dried, freshly oiled, freshly fattened, and then you get a pair of really good old shoes back. And if you're okay with it, I will also patch it. I will make different pieces patch together to make you new shoes. So I would love to do that, and I would love to have you as my new customer. So yeah, follow this channel, like my stuff, and maybe share my stuff if you like my stuff. So I hope you like this video. It's a one taker. The only thing I will do, I will put pictures like this one in the video, and yeah, so you have all my flaws, but you have my total honesty. So see you.